Hello, this is James Steinhubel for TVU Business Channel, and I am with Kirsha Campbell of the CASHLAB. Kirsha, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, and thanks for the work that you do getting information out to business owners. And it's amazing. It's very, very needed, and especially at this time too, right?
Thank you so kindly. The CASHLAB. Do tell. Do tell.
Well, the name evolved over time because a lot of businesses don't realize that cash is the lifeblood of your business. It's what I call the oxygen. It's what the business needs to survive. So what I found a lot of times was that business owners, they would focus on profits, sales, different areas of the business. I mean, they're all interlinked, but ultimately your business success boils down to you having cash in the bank account. So I wanted to create that awareness for business owners, let them see the importance of having cash in your business. Yeah.
You know, you style yourself as the, I wish I could, I'm going to try to put my finger on it right away. The internet is so slow, but external CFO,
Yeah.
CFO. I love that. So before you talk about that, what brings to the world a person who is an external CFO, CO, and is living here in our area? Who are you, and where did you come from, and how did you get such great skills?
Yeah, am I a real person? Well, yes, I am a real person. I am actually originally from Jamaica. I've been in Canada about probably 7 or 8 years now. Originally, I was in BC. That's where I moved to directly. And then my family and extended family made the move to Alberta in probably I was the last one over. So this is going into my third year in Alberta. So that's basically a bit about me. And the external CFO, on-demand CFO, what that means is that I tap into areas of your business that often you don't understand as a business owner, you don't know you need to focus on. And also, I was originally in the corporate world, so I know the corporate strategies that work to make companies successful. And I do find that there's a gap. A lot of business owners, they're excellent in their scale of their expertise, but when it comes to other things that will make their business successful, they lack that. So as an external CFO on demand, it might not be that you need that person in your business all the time. It could be that, okay, I have an issue with pricing. Let's help work on pricing. I'm having continuous bank overdraft, so I need help with that. So it's on demand, external. So we partner together for sure, but it's like I'm not your employee. So it's like based on as you need that person, you know, you're basically outsourcing a lot of the key areas that you need in your business to succeed.
Okay, that being said, let's peer into how you see the operation of a business and how you engage that and bring value to a business. So I'm looking at your webpage, and we have during the day we've tried to switch back and forth to web pages. You know what? I seem to have a good connection. I'm going to give it a shot here. So I apologize if I
I know a lot more
if I
persons
crash
are
the
online
meeting,
now.
if we crash the meeting and we have to start over. So I'm gonna hit share screen, and then you tell me when you can see it.
Okay.
Can you see it? I've
Yes.
got your website up here.
Great. Yeah, you did it.
This is
Didn't crash. Yeah.
this is interesting here. You lay out an interesting and powerful set of skills and services here. So let's talk in terms of companies now facing new realities post-COVID, you know, post no virtual business now, learning to do their business, you know, however good virtually. Let's talk strategic business planning moving forward from COVID. You walk into a brand new client, medium-sized business. You know, we're talking 5 million plus a year in sales. You're coming in, strategic business planning. What are your thoughts? What are you looking for? How do you engage a situation like that?
Okay, and it's interesting that you said post-COVID, but for us to really be successful post-COVID, we need to actually start now. You know, there are lots of strategies and things that businesses can do right now while we're going through COVID. But as I get into a business organization, the first thing I do is I have a series of conversations depending on what's happening. So I get to understand your business. What are the issues you think you're having? What are the struggles? And also, what are the gaps you think are in your business? And also, most important too, is where do you want to go with your business? So it could be that everybody has different goals. So you might say, okay, I want to grow my business, you know, to 6 figures in the next 5 years. I want to have another location. Different, you know, everybody has different goals. So we start from what are the gaps in your business and how can we fill those gaps to get there? And also, that's the first thing we do, getting into your business to understand what's happening, because every business is so different. The business owners are different, and it's important to understand what is happening, where your mind is, what do you want, what do you think are the struggles, and then I assess what's going on. I look at your reports, I look at your systems, and then after that, then I make my recommendation and say, this is what I recommend and all that, and then we come to a common decision, a consensus, an agreement, and then we move forward and say, this is, you know, these are the steps I think I suggest, and then from there we just get the ball rolling.
Now you sure come across amiable and friendly. What do you like once they give you control? Do you have the same sort of approach?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm naturally very laid back, and because it's just having a conversation, we're building a relationship, right? So it's not, you know, we're talking, we talk not about only the business, you know, with my clients, we get into, okay, they're having this is their families, because a happy business owner has a happy family, you know, it's all interlinked. So it's important that I also understand the connection with your family. What is it that you want? You might, okay, I want my kids to take over. I don't want them to take over. I have no kids. So it's important that I also understand your family dynamics and where you see your business in the next few years, where you want it to go. And that helps me to support you as well.
That's excellent. It's interesting that you brought up the concept of succession, because that leads to my next question. I think that coming, again, to use the term post-COVID, we're going to see lots of mergers, acquisitions. We're going to see successions. You know, God forbid it's because people succumbed to the disease. But a lot of people might have had a close enough brush that they're like, it's time for me to pass this business on. I want to enjoy my life.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at, it comes down to that business valuation. So what do people need to bring to the table so you can do a proper business valuation?
So to value a business, it's important that we have accurate reports. And let me just add in that reports may never ever be free from error, but they're reliable and reasonable enough. So we need to have an accurate balance sheet, an accurate income statement, a P&L, an accurate, you know, cash flow to see exactly how it is that things are moving in your business, what's happening. And I also take it a step further to look beyond the numbers. That's what I call it. So you might have a sales of this. This might be your cost. So I get into KPIs, key performance indicators, assessing your business at a deeper level to see, okay, you know, is this reasonable? Are there room for improvements, right? So we get into looking at that to see exactly what's the real value of your business. Another thing which I help my clients with from day one when we talk about succession planning and business risk is we look at the risk of your business. And a lot of times businesses are operating and they don't know the deep risks that they have. For example, you know, especially now, you have some persons who, depending on the organization, the industry you're in, that they only had one supplier. That's a big risk, because if that supplier goes down, who are you going to rely on? You know, there are lots of stalls. And so we look at the business risk from different angles in terms of how many suppliers you have. Some persons, they just have one customer. So you're a main customer and a main client, they're getting all 90% of their businesses from one person. That's a high risk. If that person cuts off that contract, your sales just plummet down. So I look at business risk. We assess the business risk from a lot of different angles. Also, a lot of business owners, at times, they're excellent in what they're doing, but it's all up in their head. So there's no system, there's no process. If they get sick, if something happens, nobody can just come in and say, okay, this is how this is done. There's no process, there's no system. And that's a huge risk. So we do get into business risk from different angles, because that all feeds into how valuable your business is. Yeah.
You know, we're right in the middle of a energy economy that's
Yeah.
being forced to change and reinvent itself and find ways to get the big dollar for what we're pulling out of the ground, right? So these companies, they surround us. Have any come to you for change management, and if so, what kind of challenges are you facing in that kind of work?
So with change management, what I find most times with change management, the struggle they have, it's usually a struggle with individuals. It's not usually, okay, they don't agree with the system. It's more like a fair, like depending on what's happening, persons come to the table with different experiences, different views, and that's okay. It's about managing that change process. But some of the issues I find are fair. Persons are afraid of change because, for example, if we get more automated, then I'm going to be less needed. So there's that fear factor, I'm going to not be needed again. And also persons, a lot of times we are comfortable, right? I'm used to this route to get to the store. I'm used to this route to get to the mall. I don't want to drive somewhere different. I don't want a new road. I don't want a highway. So persons are resistant to change for different reasons. So to help to maneuver that process, it's very important to connect with each person at where they are. Understand what's happening, get their views, get their inputs, because there's that disconnection at times where the business owner doesn't connect with the team members. So guess what? You're giving them the task to do and that, but they're not involved in the business. They don't know. I mean, they're not going to expose everything to them, but they should know enough that, okay, if we don't make a sale, if we don't reach this amount in sales this month, then this is how it affects our business, right? So it's very important that that communication is there, because I find a lot of times the issues stem from poor communication, poor understanding. Persons are resistant to change. But if we get into understanding what's happening, the culture, the dynamics of the individuals involved, that can help change management to be a much more powerful and effective process to where the organization wants to go.
Okay, and then the last concept that's on your list of services is interesting. It everything that you've talked about is involved in this one that I'm going to ask you about, and so this is going to be a big one, because a lot of companies, they're burning on fumes right now. And when they come back, a lot of not just their supply chain, but their distribution channels are all going to be different. What kind of advice can you give them for turnaround strategy?
Okay, turnaround strategy. You first have to know where your business is at. And like I said earlier, a lot of times that's a weakness in businesses. A lot of business owners think, okay, running a business, getting my numbers, okay, giving my receipts in a box to the accountant who prepares my tax return at the year end. No, you need to know more than that. You need to know what's happening in your business. You need to know what your sales are. You need to know what the costs are. You need to know why you're always in a bank overdraft. You need to know all the key numbers in your business, your key performance indicators, key metrics. So the first stage in turnaround is to know exactly where your business is at and why are you at that point. So when you're able to identify that, you know what's happening in your business, then you will then be able to identify the gaps in your business. And then when you identify the gaps and you connect with the wider business environment, you look at, okay, this is what's happening in the industry, this is what's happening at the world level. So then from there, you're able to say, okay, for us to turn around, then if we need to change, we might need to change the way we offer our products. For example, we might have just been a brick and mortar, but we can, explore shipping depending on what you're, offering. So the turnaround strategy is going to be highly dependent on where your business is at and where you want to go. And I think especially now, it's going to be very important for business owners to what I call just look around and see what's happening. A lot is changing. You probably didn't notice it before. You probably didn't think, okay, I could have a meeting virtually and it's happening, right, for some business owners. So look at what is happening. Look at what the demands of the customers are, your clients. Have that conversation, talk to them. A lot of times it's just talking, just a conversation. What is it that you need? How can I serve you better? Those are important conversations to have all the time, and that will help with you as you pivot and as you turn around your business. Yeah.
Nice. Now you have an interesting offer on your website under products, and it's called the 39-day CASHLAB Blueprint Planner.
Yes.
What is it? What can people expect with that?
Okay, so with that, I developed that because I realized that, you can talk, especially business owners who don't have that personal support. They are probably not sure, what should I do first? How often should I do it? So do this task. So I got into key steps you need to do over 39 days to really get your business streaming. So for example, I talk about you getting into the habit of looking at your bank account, your real life bank account every day. Persons are not doing that. And as a business owner, even as an individual, need to be looking to see, just scanning, does this look suspicious? Do I need to call my bank? So we get into key things you need to do daily, getting into that routine. For example, reviewing your month-end reports. That a lot of times people are not doing that. So I talk about key strategies of bank reconciliation. Some persons don't even know what that is. So I get into key things that you need to know to help get your business online, streaming it, setting up your systems and profit and processes to help you to be more profitable, getting cash in your bank account and having your operations streamlined. For example, there's another one. Some persons don't even know who owes them. I had a situation the other day where, someone, they were owed over 30,000 for years, and they were like, it just happened. Some persons don't even know who really owes them. So you get into the habit of looking at key reports, reviewing, assessing, so you can make the necessary changes in your business and develop those key habits. Yeah.
That's excellent. How can people get a hold of you, Kirsha?
Okay, so on LinkedIn, I'm at Kirsha Campbell. My website is there, www.theboutiqueaccounting.com. And Kirsha Campbell, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn as well. You can reach out to me. I'm on Instagram as the CASHLAB. So those are ways you can connect with me, send a message. I'll be happy to chat with you. And, I really want business owners, especially at this time, not to just give up in despair. I've been talking to a lot of persons, and it's not a time to just throw in the towel, and it's a time to really look at what's happening in your business. How can I manage through this situation? Cash forecast, setting up your cash forecast, your budgets and all that. It's important to know these things, especially at this time. What is it that we need to survive? How can we, use what we have? Because you might think you have probably 100,000 in your bank account right now, but in a few months, if this situation continues and you don't manage that well, then it all goes down. So now's the time to be strategic, to get into what's happening in your business, your systems, and make those key decisions right now. That's, it's natural to get overwhelmed or down, but let's not stay there.
Excellent. That was a great uplifting few statements. I appreciate it. Kirsha Campbell, the CASHLAB on TVU, the business channel. Thank you again. Thank you, and we'll see you again.
Again, thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye now.